content creation is such a low or no cost of entry. Shoot a video, boom. Maybe it goes viral and you have no idea what that means to you, but you never turned it into a business. And that is the biggest problem with these creators that's happening on the come up.
What if I told you you could turn your content into lots and lots of cash? My guest today, Mike Rodriguez, is a branding strategist, entrepreneur, and creative visionary who helps entrepreneurs and influencers turn ideas into profitable brands. He's the founder and CEO of The Success Brand, a New York-based branding and media agency that specializes in personal brand strategy, content management, and digital growth. He's New York City's own, and Mike is also a public speaker and author sharing insights and purpose-driven branding mindset and the discipline behind digital success. How are you helping people of color, New York City-based, urban-based entrepreneurs today in that space?
Well, I'm a child of hip hop, and I feel like this influencer creation space is literally just like hip hop. And when money got involved, that's when the brands came, but the talent didn't know anything. They don't realize that it's an economy that's been created from art. Art has intersected business once again, like with music. I always tell every creator, focus on that economy word. Art is never wrong because it's an expression. Now, once business gets involved, it's different. Well, I have a saying, don't chase the bag, pick up your luggage. That's the money that's meant for you. And we're living in a society that it's
Welcome to the show today, brother.
Thank you, sir.
It's great to have you.
No, for sure.
Let's get right into it, man. Content creation is the new hustle. There's no way around it.
1,000%.
How are you helping our people? How are you helping people of color, New York City-based, urban-based entrepreneurs today in that space?
Well, I would say how I equate it, because I am a child of hip hop. I'm not 25, right? So I am a child of hip hop, and I feel like I've said this for a while, that this influencer creation space is literally just like hip hop. And when money got involved, that's when the brands came, but the talent didn't know anything, right? It was just like, oh, I can make $4 doing this, when a brand said that, yeah, I can make 100. I'm just using those numbers. And the content creation was the same thing. I was watching influencers get lowballed, and it was like, I saw what happened with hip hop. And a 25-year-old manager, no disrespect to anybody, they just didn't have that. They couldn't compare. Right. So I saw that, and that's where I was like, I'm going to have a focus of the urban community. And I don't want to even just say black and brown, just an urban community, urban mindset. And they don't realize that now it's an economy that's been created from art. Art has intersected business once again, like with music. And I always tell every creator, focus on that economy word. Like music business, it used to be like, hey, business is longer than music. Economy, you got to focus on that. And that's where I feel like that's my gift, because I'm a creative at heart.
Right.
And I started as a dancer. We don't have any clips. Don't put no clips, Flo, nothing like that.
Oh, we're going to find some fucking clips now, bro. My man is like a fucking internet sleuth. You done finished yourself.
But,
let's get him.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm a creative at heart. And I always say art is never wrong, because it's an expression. Now, once business gets involved, it's different, right?
Very.
But
and those two things don't go together, because artists usually aren't too concerned with the business. So
and they don't want to be.
How do we change that mindset? How are you helping to change that mindset?
Well, I'm somebody that comes from where you're from, right? There's not too many people in my position at, agent, manager, representative. In music, you have that, but not so much in this space. And that's kind of been my thing, right? I want the, 12, 13, 14-year-old kid from the Bronx, wherever, be like, oh wow, like I can relate to him, right? Because like even my son, my youngest son is 15 years old. His friends all follow me. He's like, yo, Dad, and this is a big thing for me. He was like, my friends all say you're super inspirational. And that's coming from my son.
That's awesome.
And if you have kids, when you get that, it don't matter. Everything else goes out the window.
Right.
Your son said that, and it's not like he's embarrassed.
Right.
So I think I have like a genuine realness, because if I talk to Sean, I talk to Flo, talk to John, everybody's different. And I like to understand people. I like to see people. And I think in this business, people they see numbers on top of people's heads, and how much can I make, and how much following, and who are you? Because Sean may be different than Flo and different than John. I'll have different conversations, and there's different things that we have to do for each individual. But too many people are looking at the money rather than the person.
Now, I know that comes with, being seasoned and being a little older and being wise, where the money's not the number one concern.
Correct.
You still do things with the intention to make money.
Correct.
But that chip may have been removed from your shoulder from good decisions and consistency. What would you tell to the young person who's like, yeah, whatever, I got to go get that money?
Well, I have a saying, don't chase the bag, pick up your luggage. That's the money that's meant for you. You know what I mean? And we're living in a society that it's chase the bag. I need to get this bread by all means necessary. You don't. I understand it, but that's more, to me, it's a reflection of your circle. Right? Because if you're around a bunch of people, be like, yo, gotta get to it, get to it. Even still, there's people that are my age that are still, yo, it's about that bread. I'll do whatever. It's not.
I haven't figured it out yet.
Right, exactly. It's like, what are we doing here? Right? And that even leads to, I always talk about, I'll keep it my generation.
Right.
They ruin
Our
it.
generation, I'll jump in there with you.
Okay. A lot of us ruin it. Because I feel like our generation is a bunch of rappers that never made it, and they're still trying to put out albums.
Chacho, that's a big one.
No, and they mad because now technology has 14-year-olds making money because you're focused on money, right? And it's like, damn, you've been trying to do this for so long, and it's like, you're a parent. And clearly it's not everybody in our generation, but I see a lot of it. And I see a lot of people, instead of, I'm very much about a we mentality. It's a we society. I look at Sean from a human element, not a podcaster, not, business, not any of that. It's Sean. Right. And I think too many people are looking so much, we're in a me society.
Right.
And it's like, I'm about we, and I try to help. I look at people from a human element, and I think the younger generation, they don't have it anymore because nobody is trying to teach them anymore because they're by themselves.
I want to take it back to what you said about the older cats, still holding on to that dream of being a rapper, which is admirable. But at 40, I can't name a fucking rapper that hit at 40. I mean, you do have the I'm sure there's one that I don't know of, and there's probably 10 that I don't know of because it's not my thing. But I want to use that example I'm writing my book and I'm putting some personalized finishing touches on it. And one of the things I realize is, we used to listen to the OGs on the block. And now, if I still was on the block, I would be considered an OG. But what value could I really offer to the kid who I was 20 years ago if I still haven't made it off the block? And unfortunately, these are our role models. These are our people that we're looking up to. Is the guys in the neighborhood who never made it. They may still be living with their mom or grandma. God bless, I'm not trying to knock them.
Yeah.
They didn't make it in life. Shit.
Yeah.
It happens. Most people don't. But when we learn from that person and hold it dear, like, yo, it's OG, he's trying to help me out.
Right.
He's doing what he feels. It's like our parents, right? They do what they feel will keep us safe. But in the interim, they might be stepping on our dreams.
Because they don't even know. And that's and what you're doing and what you're doing with this pod is that, right? I do videos now Monday, Wednesday, Friday on Instagram, right? And I call, it's mornings with Mike, but I hashtag the virtual block because that's what it is to me. If I can't be, sitting on a car talking to y'all, I'ma meet y'all where y'all at, and I'ma spit game.
Yo, how would it look? Because I remember chilling on like 164th and the hood at like Saturday night, Friday night with my uncle and just fellas, and the cops will roll up and the music's blasting and smoking weed and they drinking and doing all this shit.
Yeah.
Imagine we pulled up now with this positive shit. Like, how would that go?
But that's what I'm saying. It's just crazy because it's like, again, it's your tribe, right? It takes a village. It takes a block, right? Like, because that you knew that in certain way. Like, my grandmother had a bar in the South Bronx for 40 years, bro. Like, that neighborhood, she was like the queen of that neighborhood. So it was like, everybody just knew, you know what I mean? On the come up, that's Virginia, Virginia's Lounge, right? You know what I mean? And she had everybody from Supreme Court judges that she was tight with the gang dudes.
Where was this at?
On the corner of Longwood and Southern Boulevard.
That's what's up, man. And this was your aunt, you said?
No, my grandmother.
Your grandmother.
That's my everything, bro. My grandmother's my everything.
So let's dive into that. Where'd you grow up exactly?
I was in the Bronx, Yonkers, and I went to high school upstate, then came back to the Bronx, then went to Arizona, and then came back.
All right.
The Arizona shit is a little
different?
I was having a difficult time becoming a man. Boy to man, that was tough.
We were talking about it before we got on. Were you raised by your grandmother, your mom? Who was in the house when you were growing up?
I would say my grandmother had a very big part, but it was my mother. My parents got divorced when I was 5 years old, and my stepfather came into my life, and he made me the man that I am today. I'm very close to my biological. My stepfather is actually Italian. And when I tell you, like, as I got older, I realized, like, he was the man of the house. And he taught me my morals and values and everything like that. And I can't speak enough about him because I'm not his blood.
Right.
And he really, he took me on like his own, and still to this day, like, so when I have cigars with, you know, what I mean?
How old were you when he stepped into your life?
5.
Wow. So he was there for all the time after that. You know, I like bringing that up because I try to stress the importance of family now. And I didn't realize that till I had my own. We were joking. My wife had to put the muscle to it. Like, bro, you better marry me. Bro, you better have kids. Because I was just running from it because I was the man child, because I was raised by women. So you were raised by this stepfather, God bless. Shout out to this man who took on the role of your dad.
Yeah.
You know, even though
my dad was there. My biological was there. It was beautiful.
Fucking amazing.
It was beautiful.
The point I'm trying to make is community and what we see at home in terms of values. You hit so many points there. I think our community suffers from a lack of family structure, and I will include, you know, even non-nuclear families, whether it be, you know, LGBTQ families, because that's normal out here too, and that's fine. But more than one person just trying to figure everything out, because the energy is just all fucked up. And you're digging yourself out of a bigger hole. And even though my mother was very positive and very strong, I dug myself out of a lot of self-inflicted holes. So the one caveat to all that, what if I told you that the secret to success, at least from what I've found on this show, is that it's a 2-parent home. More than 90% of my successful guests come from a 2-parent home, which is fucking wild. It's like extracting data in science. Patterns start to show up. And that's the one pattern after, you know, 60 or whatever episodes we got from very similar people from our community. That's the one constant.
No, I believe that. And I feel like I was fortunate enough to have 4 parents. Because my stepmother was involved, my father, clearly my stepfather, my mother, and me and my wife, when we got together, we kind of realized, like, for me, divorce was harmony. For her, divorce was war. And it's like you said, what you grow up in and what you're dealing with. And it's like, I was fortunate. I didn't realize that until I got older.
Right, of course.
Right? Because, you know, it is what it is, you know. But yeah, I agree with that. And that's what I say now as far as me being, like you said, when you become a parent, it becomes different. And now in this day and age with the phone, social media, like I've told my mom, like anybody that has, you know, a child, let's just say 2 parents, you're getting your information from 2 people. Doesn't matter what the 2 people are. Normally back in my day, right? That's what it was. Now, you may be downloading this information to the child. Let's say there's 2.
Yeah.
But then you go to school with somebody that's being raised by a phone, right? So my 6-year-old is speaking to a classmate that has 18-year-old information downloaded to their hard drive, telling it to my child. I got to combat, like, it's a lot more difficult and challenging because it's not just, I got information from home. It's just, you don't even know anymore. And you got to kind of, you know, parent.
Well, you know what the wild part about that is that from the ages of 0 to 7, just like you alluded to, we're downloading a program of our caretakers' design.
Right.
We're taking on their limitations. We're taking on their mannerisms. And I started with limitations because unfortunately that's what we're trying to do is push past. Bro, we had a candid discussion, and I'm at a point in my life where the numbers are bigger, but the challenges are fucking ever present because we're moving from one industry, shifting completely and pivoting to this and social media and public speaking, transformational speaking, books, and that circuit. Yeah. And it's not comfortable. Yeah. But my ability to deal with it, the level of maturity. Right. And I got to say that all started with parenting for me. That's when I started to shift. And then when my son was born 3 years ago, that's when it really just it went complete 180. This is the man I got to be for my son. That was the connection I didn't make with my daughter, was this is the man I have to be for my son. And I just fucking went to town. I got in shape. I stopped drinking. I did this, I did that. And to see him and enjoy the time with him and also have a way better connection with my daughter, who's a little older now, is priceless. And I know that they're never gonna have to suffer or dig themselves out of, or I don't want to say never and jinx myself, but I'm gonna do my best to make sure they don't have to dig themselves out of a hole of fucking program bullshit. But with all that said, I'm still downloading my bullshit on
No, but you know it's
But I'm also downloading a lot of good stuff.
No, but it's good. And it's my stepfather has given me a bunch of gems. And you know, when I became a parent, one thing that really stuck with me was that, Mike, understand that kids are horrible listeners. but they're exceptional imitators.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of like, how we grew up. Hey, do as I say, not as I do. Nah.
Children are meant to be, spoken or not
seen
heard,
and not heard.
not heard.
Yeah.
You knew your place. I always joke with my daughter. I was like, you wouldn't make it in the 80s.
Yeah, exactly.
You would have had chanclas and Vaseline jars, everything hurled at you, whatever. My mother was from the couch. When you get smart with the mouth. Yeah. But again, I can't even imagine the level of abuse or discipline that they went through in the DR. So again, it gets watered down, hopefully, and we get better because we're able to mature and eliminate a lot of the bullshit. So we talk about leadership, and you built your empire around helping others and redefining what success looks like, for this next generation. What does success look like for Mike?
For me is helping anybody younger than me, honestly, getting something from me, right? If you're 45, if you get something at 46 that took me until 49, that's success for me. Like past 2 years, I've really understood my purpose and from a human element. My vehicle is content creation. I mean, I couldn't have even told you that years ago that this is where I would be, but I feel like God placed me in this position, right? To do what I have to do with the thing that is everywhere now. This is society, and this is my tool. So when I'm able to, like we were talking earlier, I'm able to explain to a 70-year-old CEO about content creation or whatever this is, right? Right. And I can also talk to the 15-year-old kids on my son's baseball team. You know what I mean? Like, they just get it because they know my talent, as talent meaning the people that I manage or represent. It's just like, success to me is just people understanding for me that there's still good people out there. You can still make money being a good person. Right. You don't have to stab people in the back. I tell people in this game, in business, I'm a shark, but I'm a vegan shark. I'm not out for blood. And that's the problem, is that too many people are focused on the money. And it's like, it's the community and again, this is what led me when we were talking about just even your pod and what you're doing here. It's like, this community based, this is all service. I'm a servant leader. I want to help everybody. Right now, I've also, as I've gotten older, I'll do anything for you as long as it doesn't hurt me. And that's the thing that I was having a problem with, because I would hurt me just to help you. Right. You got to have that balance, because we're so taught about being selfish. Like I said, this whole me society, and especially me as a manager representation, I am serving somebody. Right. How do you think about that? I got to think about me. And that's the difficulty, and not be, I could curse? No, okay.
Fucking day.
Okay. And not be, and not really be like, like a prick or an asshole about it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I like to do. I like success is more people seeing good, genuine individuals, good energy people, see me, and that my reputation precedes me. That's it. I don't matter where I'm at. Money, that's, you got it, right? Cool. Fantastic. I don't care about that. Right. I'm going to do what I got to do from a human standpoint.
Here's the magic in what you just said. It's the fact that you have to mature to a level where you understand these things before you can go out and lead with purpose. Yes. Otherwise, you're just chasing that bag, and you're going to do whatever it takes. So you're going to do things along the way that are going to be in complete conflict with your value system if you don't clearly define them. So this may be the slower route to success. It is. But this is the surer route to lasting success. Yes. And it's the difference between buying crypto or putting your money in a fucking Charles Schwab, investment account. It does not look sexy. Right. It is not going to take you on this fucking crazy roller coaster ride every month, but it will be there. And over time, those values, those things that really serve yourself, the people you love, your community, if you're mature enough to get to that point like you and I are blessed enough to be, then you've got to fucking have a long game in mind. And I think it's just an instant gratification culture. My wife was looking at, the DoorDash, because we were on vacation. And I explained that DoorDash, most people don't know or don't care. Aside from the fees, there's already a 10, 15, 20% upcharge of the item. So you buy something at, the supermarket, it's going to be $1. It might be $1.50, $1.20, $1.25. And they're getting it to you immediately. Now, that is a luxury that people with resources and means should be able to say, you know what, me going to the supermarket while I'm on vacation doesn't make sense, so I order $40, $50 of healthy shit anytime I go to a conference. It'll be at the hotel waiting. But I got it like that, so who cares? But when the young generation is already married to that 15 to 25% upcharge, it's just a mistake they're not even fucking aware that they're making because the technology already owns and dictates the process. So what are some of the mistakes you're seeing in your own world, in your own business when it comes to these young folks creating content? What are some of the more common mistakes and how do we help them avoid them?
That's exactly one of them right there. They're growing up in an instant gratification society. They're growing up in 140 characters. They're growing up in 15-second, 30-second, 60-second reels, right? That's their world. That's what they know. So they think everything is that. Whatever I want to do, it comes in 15 seconds, right? The food, everything. Back in, if we wanted to go get music, either you had to hop the train, get a token, get somebody to take you, go to the store.
I love how you started with hop the train.
You know what I mean? Like it was one of these, anything that you had to do, you had to physically get over there, and it was more work involved just to get that. Where now it's the phone, boom, boom, boom. And this is what I tell people too. This industry, content creation, is a low or no cost of entry. Your parent probably got you a phone. Now you got a phone. You didn't pay for it. Shoot a video. Boom. Maybe it goes and goes viral, and you have no idea what that means to you. It's just now you're lit. People know you. Blah blah blah. Now people start giving you stuff. And like the things happen, and you're not even prepared for that. And people don't understand like what you were talking about as far as crypto, as opposed to like a longer term investment. I'm trying to teach about that. Right? Utilize and use what's today, but that has to turn into something, because if not, it ends up being like drugs, right? Because your block was clicking, right? I have talent that I've had this conversation to that were here, and now they're back down here. And it's like, your block was clicking. You didn't have, everybody was coming. You didn't have to worry about it. Then you kind of faded out, lost the plug. You know what I mean? And people are like, in that game, hey, call you once, twice, all right, on to the next. Then you had it again. It's like, now it's inconsistent, right? And it's like, now you start chasing that natural high. That's what it was. The first high of the dopamine that you had when you was on top, but you never turned it into a business. And that is the biggest problem with these creators that's happening on the come up. It's like, you love that. You're lit, your friends, your circle.
It's attention, it's views, it's generic. I feel good in the moment. It's the dopamine hit.
Yep.
But how do we apply that knowledge? So some of us are going to get sucked in, right? We're all victims to, let me check my phone.
100%.
And then you're on it a half an hour, 20 minutes later. I got like a 10-minute tolerance where I start to realize like, oh shit. And I'm like out. But most people could go for a lot longer than that, I would imagine. So let's reverse engineer this for our young audience. Anybody that happens to see this show, anybody that happens to see one of these clips, give me the top 3 things that anybody looking to build a personal brand from our community needs to start doing today.
Okay. First thing you got to do is you got to figure out who you are, right? And lock that in. Like, what is it about you, right? Forget about that you're just going to you just want views. Who are you? All right, cool. Now you know what that is. After you do that, you got to make sure that you're passionate about that, right? And the consistency. And people, I always say words have different meanings for different people, right? So to me, consistent might mean posting every day 3 times a day. To you, consistent might be, and not saying you, I'm just saying example. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying Sean. to somebody else, consistency might mean posting once a week.
Right. If you were in posting,
I'm consistent, right? And the thing is you got to get your business in order. So you got to figure out who you are. That's number 1. Number 2, once you figure that out, understand that you got to be passionate and consistent about that, because it's not an easy game. To build a business, not. And then number 3 is definitely understand that you're a business. Because if you want it as a hobby, that's cool. But if you're really trying to, because there's money in this game, and I'm telling you, I've been around and I've negotiated millions and millions of dollars. This is not a joke. I'm not just saying this for like clickbait, nothing like that. Trust me, I've done it. I've done it. And the money is there. A lot of people don't understand how much money is there, and that this industry is going to be $500 billion by 2030. I see it. It's what I do all day. But you got to be a business, because there's too many creators out here.
Right.
It's like roaches stepping on them. They're all over the place. But who do you want to build with from a business perspective? You got to look at the other side too. So,
right. And the algorithm, just like life, it favors consistency.
100%.
It will fucking be biased toward your consistency every day. So even if your content is terrible, just keep doing it. But obviously along the way, people get discouraged, things in life happen. But you're right. Just like the DoorDash, the instant gratification culture can work against you or can work for you, because you could literally create content wherever, whenever, from the tip of your phone. And I mean, we had a little snafu. We were going to film with the phone because it is the same quality. Yes, we'll lose something, but it ain't going to lose enough to give you the excuse to not create that day or that hour or that week or whatever it is. And what's the conversation that you would say to have, or what conversations should young people avoid when trying to build this brand? Because a lot of the pitfalls don't necessarily come from within. We're all ready to talk ourselves out of our success, right? Because we don't know that we're capable of it yet. What are some of the pitfalls of leaning on the people around you if you're that young person?
Well, that's huge, and that's why I always go back to your circle is everything. Because going back to what you were saying as far as parenting is, right? They download their limitations. It's the same thing as your circle. So imagine you're in a circle of people, and you're like, hey, I want to do this, and I want to be a creator, and I want to this, and you got a bunch of people. Everybody want to do that. You'll never be Kai. You'll never be that. Right. And then you're allowing that to be downloaded to you, and you don't want to do anything. It's like, because you're concerned about what other people think. Right. You know what I mean? And that's the issue. I always say the person got to be right before the business could be right. So you have to sit there and say, you have to be laser focused, and I just got to go, and I just got to go. And now what's happening, because we're growing up. See, I started in this content creation space in 2017. And it's so different now, right? The dopamine, the algorithm is not giving you that as much anymore because you're dealing with the human element. Society is growing up with this, right? Back then, somebody posts something, you can get 80K followers in them like that.
Right.
Now, I'm sure you do it because I know I do it, and I'm trying to be conscious of it for me, especially because this is my business. I can see something, laugh, whatever, dope. Scroll to the next one. I don't even like it. I don't even comment. I don't even share it because I know I'm going to continue to see it. So you're not even going to get, I did a video about this the other day. Not everybody's going to like it. Literally. They're going to like it, but they may not like it.
Because that extra fraction of a second.
Bro, and you have to do that. And I equate that with sales. Like you have to, if you have a brand, your posts are your marketing, right? And the sale is the like, the comment, and the share. And sometimes you got to keep marketing, as you know. You got to market yourself more before you get that sale. You know what I mean? And it's difficult because people see you come into this game, people are making millions of dollars and millions of followers. And it's like, I want to do that. And they're going back to society. I just got to post a video. I just got to go viral. To me, I always tell people going viral with your first video, to me,
death trap.
100%.
Yeah, it would be a fucking death trap because the expectation would be something you'll never meet again. A good example of this is the big dude that did the face in the Saratoga water. The ice bucket. Ashton something.
Yeah.
Apparently he had fake followers, fake views, all that stuff, but he just kept chugging and chugging and chugging. And finally that fucking video took off to the point where it changed everything for him. And again, he's got something that is dialed in, is running next to the cars with the mask on. To me, this shit is all stupid after I see it 3 or 4 times. I'm not in as good shape as that motherfucker, but maybe one day. Not my brand, I should say. We gotta keep it authentic. But again, that's what he's trying to build. He stood authentic to that message. I didn't scroll down to his beginnings. I'm sure he was doing something different, and then he found his lane. And I'm sure there was plenty of doubt along the way, but he just kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And the goal at the end, I guess for him, which makes sense because he's younger, is to go viral. Right. When I do my stuff, there's no intention to go viral. I know that this is a 2, 3, 4, 5-year game. And when I look back at 5 years and I'm up to a fucking 1,000 episodes or something, maybe we start clicking at 200. Because all the people that I follow on social media have been doing this for 5 or 10 years. Yeah. So they got a 5 or 10-year head start on me. So it started as a hobby. Yep. And then it went into, we got to be more intentional about this hobby. And now it's a business, or at least shifting to be a business. And I happen to be very fortunate but also put myself next to some of the best in the country and in the world at it because I want to learn from the best. I don't want to make all the mistakes along the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. We have definitely learned a few things.
Around the best in the world that do this.
Hold on. Behind the back pass for you on that one. How you like that fucking? How you fucking worthy to Magic right now?
I'm just messing with you.
So, or Magic to fucking Kareem, I should say. But all right, you go viral. I just had the pleasure of seeing Charlie Sheen yesterday at an event I was at in Jersey. And Charlie Sheen obviously is most famous for all the crazy shit that he did.
Right.
But part of the reason that at the tender age of now he's 60 and mature and been through all the bullshit, and it is wild that he's 60, right?
Yeah.
We remember seeing Charlie Sheen and Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Wall Street, and he was fucking 20 years old.
Yeah.
And he got the bag.
Right.
So what do you say to somebody who wants the bag, but is not ready for the bag? Like, how have you prepared for that money? Like, are you financially aware of what that money can do and how to use it? Just like a ball player that pisses it away.
Exactly. And it's not even just, it's the money part and it's the mental part. Because everybody is chasing virality. I want to go viral. And like I said, first video goes viral, that's nuts, right? But when you go viral, people, it sounds good. Yeah, I want to do that. But are you ready in two phases mentally? Because you're going to get the views, you're going to get people liking, people are going to do this, but then you're going to also get people that are going to troll you and people are going to talk shit about you. Are you prepared for that mentally? Because that comes along with this, right? Because I've seen it where it's like, you can have 100 comments and 95 good, those 5 that are bad, but you're not looking at the number. Like,
that's 95%. Where you put your focus, because your insecurities are all brought to the surface.
And that's where you have to be prepared because this is on Front Street.
It's crazy you say that because the first thing we did it didn't go viral, but we had like close to 20,000 views with the Jimmy interview. And of course the hate was there, and it's the first time that anything really got out to the masses doing the show, and it was pretty early on. So I was unprepared for some of the hate.
Yeah.
Why you don't let them talk? Why you keep chiming in? It's like, motherfucker, this is a conversation.
Right.
I felt the need to, my first inclination was that, what I just said. My second was kill him with kindness. Thanks for the feedback, even though it's not favorable. Right. We do appreciate it, and we aim to do better all the time.
Did you write that, even though it's not favorable? At least you did. I had to get it out.
I take it. I could easily say, this motherfucker ain't doing nothing. Why are you making comments?
Yeah.
And my man, Ab5, AB, came on defending me and shit. He's like, I do it too. I get it to the interview. Yeah. And that's what ingratiated me to him when I met him in person, because he's just him, and he's cool.
Ab is dope.
But it's a matter of, the naysayers are always going to be there. The haters are always going to be there. And the people that are not doing shit are always going to have something to say about the shit you're doing. But the reason that they're saying it is because they don't feel worthy of even going on that journey. And you have the bravery to start, but you still have the doubt. And what happens when somebody initiates a conversation or a comment, the doubt comes right up.
Yeah.
And the fear comes right up. So to your point, it's better to fucking understand it in advance and avoid the 5% of negativity and focus on the 95%.
And it goes back to your circle, son. Like when you're talking about the circle, it's like if I were to sit there, if that happened to me, right? And I'd be like, yo, Sean, you see this? And you'd be like, yeah, Mike, you know what? Just tell him, and it's like feeding me that. Or do you have a circle saying like, oh, don't even worry about it. They're mad just because you're doing. Because I always say execution is the new flex. Ideas are great. Execution is better.
Everybody got a fucking idea.
Exactly. And especially in the creative space, everybody got an idea.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So it's like, you just got to be prepared for that because, and again, like on the other side is the finance side, right? If you're fortunate enough to do that, right? Because if you build it as a business, because some people they're really not into this for maybe because that's not maybe. It's because I've been around business my whole life. This is a business, right? It's still fun. It's still art, but I look at it as business. Like me, I like to work with people that look at their things like business. If you look at it as a hobby, I'm not saying get out of here. I'm not going to put
can't work together.
I just don't want to put my time and energy into it because I look at things as a business and I'm a visionary. I always say there's a lot of creatives, but not every creative has vision. And I can literally see years down the road of what this could be. And I'm not saying it's always right. I'm not the oracle, right? No. But I do see beyond and what this could be and how this could work. And it's just like, we're too focused on the people think that that clout is currency, right? Too many people think that. And the actual clout is not. You can use the clout to turn it into currency. The clout itself is not currency. You got to learn what to do with that clout in order to turn it into currency. And I just feel like this attention economy, that's all people want, and they're good. It's like, all right, cool. You know me straight.
Right.
But what are you doing with that? Right. What are you doing with that? And that's kind of like, what I like to focus on.
Admittedly, yeah, I've been in the same position where I'm doing it first as a hobby, and I think just to prove to myself I could do it, and I'm good at it, somewhat good at it, but I've gotten better, and I will continue to get better now that I'm educated and taking it seriously like a business. But I realize because I'm in business, it also serves, and this is for the people that are already successful in another lane.
Right.
So I don't know if you know Louis Omar. So Louis is somebody who's in, lending and real estate, but he uses it to bolster his personal brand, his credibility. So there's not necessarily a bottom line that the internet presence or the social media presence is creating in terms of a ROI directly, but it's building the brand that's helping build money in it. And for me, it was the same. I would go to a conference, I would go to an event, and people know who I am. I've already got instant credibility. So even for people who are in the real estate space, who are in the lending space, who are in the fucking insurance space, anything that you do, you should be building a brand around. Unless you already have your own company, then you know this. But even if you're working for someone else, you're under Keller Williams umbrella or fucking whoever real estate brokerage, you should be building your own personal brand because you're not gonna be there forever. You might move. And you can take your brand, your credibility, and your expertise with us. So I wanted to wrap up on taking everything away, everything you built. Let's just say tomorrow was all stripped away. What's the one mindset, tool, or thing that you know that you own that can't be taken from you and you'll rebuild from?
Motion creates motion, the law of physics. As long as you keep going, things will keep happening, and you just can't stop. To me, being content is when you're dead. You know what I mean? Like, you got to evolve, especially, look, 51 years old, dealing with 18, 19-year-olds. Right,
as far as cool by his 15-year-old, so I would say you're winning.
Right, from a business standpoint, because you know how that could get turned around. Like business people, 18, younger generation. You gotta start be careful about what you say. But you have to evolve, because if not, you end up being a dinosaur. Because if I sit there and you were talking to me about your brand, be like, hey Mike, what are you thinking? I'll be like, yo, you know what? You got to put an ad in the New York Times. You'd be like, who is this dude? You know what I mean? So it's just evolving and just understand, like, I really live my life by the law of physics. Motion creates motion.
Appreciate you coming out today. Let the audience know where they can find out more about you, your brand, and also your book, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. So all socials are at Mike Success. I spell Mike MYQ, and then the word success, SUCCESS. And every one of my socials, you'll see the link to the Content to Cash Bible. Shout out to my brother Ash, who I wrote the book with. Anybody that's sitting there, honestly, if you're becoming a content creator, it's the ABCs. Literally teaches you everything, and then you can go get busy, turn your content to cash, and just, I'm out here for everybody, bro. Like, seriously, I chase business, not money, and I'm all about we. That's my bottom line.
Appreciate you coming out today, brother. As always, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Real Mentors Podcast. We'll have all of Mike's information in the bio. Make sure you hit him with a follow, subscribe. You know the drill. Let's get it.